Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and today from Zondervan we have the NIV Personal Size Large Print Bible in green calfskin. Now this thing has a lot going on. It's got bells and whistles all over the place, so let's take a look at it. First of all, as you can tell, it's going to come in a very nice box, and when you open the box it's going to have this protective wrapper that protects the Bible while it's in the box to kind of keep it from shifting around. And now, this is the green calfskin, and this thing really has a lot going on. First of all, it kind of has the old world design on the cover here that I just think is really beautiful. I love this green. It's kind of like a hunter green. It's more of a dark green and not a really bright, abrasive, annoying, obnoxious green. It does also have a very generous yapp. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend to you is if you are going to train this yapp, you're going to throw this off center, because see, once that yapp is trained, it's going to be right on the edge. So I recommend don't mess with the yapp, and if you do, just barely train it, like kind of with your hand, just to give it a little bit of fold so it still has that nice centered look on that old world design on the cover. Now I'm kind of on the fence with this design because it almost makes the leather look a little cheaper, but I've had some time to look over it and I'm getting used to it. I've got a feeling over time I'm really going to end up loving it. Now let's move to the spine. And the spine, they didn't hold back on the spine either. Check it out. They have the old world design under the hubs. 1, 2, 3, 4 beautiful raised hubs. Now this does not feel it is stamped in. So one concern I do have is that if you use this a lot, especially on the front, that's going to rub off and then it's not going to look so good. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but it has the rest of the bells and whistles you'd expect with the Premier Collection. It has your perimeter stitching, 3 beautiful accent ribbons, navy, green, and gold. And then, of course, it is edge lined. So it has your green goatskin leather cover, and then it has your black leather liner. Perimeter gold, really nice corners. Sometimes when there's accent colors, the corners can be a little rough. Like you can see that one's really nice. This one's a little rougher than the others, but again, when you've got a mass-produced Bible where they are producing a bunch of them at once, you're going to lose some of those perfect details, but you're also going to feel it with your budget. It's going to be a little bit cheaper than some of your more expensive Bibles. Now, this one is listed at $250, but you can get it below that on christianbook.com right now. It's actually a little bit cheaper. So now let's take a look at one more bell and whistle that this Bible has, and that is the gilding. I mean, they did not hold back. Look at that. It's gorgeous. That is a beautiful, it's almost kind of like a goffered edge with a print on it as well. Now, these aren't real goffered edges. Goffered edges actually have indentations, but they went for it on this. Also, they did like the goffered edges on the NASB 2020, which I reviewed, and I'll put that in the video description as well. But this is just next level. So now let's look at the text block, because this is a very compact size. Counting the yapp, it's 9 by 6.5, give or take just a little bit. The text block alone is 8.5 by 6. So you can see that yapp gives it almost an extra inch. So now let's open, and then you have a black letter text. So this is not the blue letter like they have been doing in some of the recent NIVs. And it's a little bit difficult to see on camera, but those are dark green, like a hunter green accent. You can kind of see it as you zoom in like that. This is a paragraph format other than in the poetic settings. It's going to have some corner notes, but I don't see any references. So this is just going to have a note system without the references. So this is not a reference Bible. Now, you may say, wait a minute, why didn't they put references in there? Well, remember that small footprint that I told you they had? This is an 11.5 point font. This is almost bordering on a giant print, because once you get into the 12 and 12 plus font sizes, then you're moving into giant print territory. So this is about as large of a large print as you can get, and it still be in the large print family, not moving into giant print. Once you get into the poetic settings, as you can see, you've got it in your verse by verse format with some notes on the bottom. And when you get into the New Testament, you can see that it is a black letter text. The words of Jesus are in black. I really like this. One thing I love about a semi-yapp layout is when you get the overhead view and you just kind of see that cover just kind of hug around that text block. It just really gives it a beautiful look. And then you have the accent colors and all that good stuff. I love the green accents on this, just absolutely beautiful. So once you get to the end, after the book of Revelation, there's not a whole lot of extra bells and whistles. You got a few note pages, and then that's it. So there's not going to be a concordance or a dictionary in this that you see in some of your standard NIVs. That is because they wanted to save as much space for that large print as possible without making this thing so thick you could barely carry it. Of course, you're going to have your Zondervan maps and your end sheet. Absolutely beautiful. I love that they put the ISBN number inside. That is where it needs to go, especially in any high-end Bible, because you don't want that stamped on the back. I like this a lot. I'm close to loving it. I'm probably going to love it in a couple weeks. Matter of fact, I'll let you know if I do. The only thing holding me back is just that cover stamp right there. I'm not sold on that, but I do know that this was bold, and I'm here for it. I love that Zondervan is going for it on the Premier Collection and not just going with black, 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 or brown, 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 but they are really pushing the envelope, starting with some blues, starting with some greens, and it looks really great. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your name is worth.